Alright, Shalom. I'm going to start off by giving all praises, honors, and glories unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Akakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone that taught me this truth that rule well. Shalom to the elect scattered through the four corners of the earth. My name is Kodash Paya. And as you can see here, this is an article. This is the headline of the article over in Independent. Where it states YouTube says issue resolved, right? After more than 250,000 users report problems accessing website and app. So apparently there was an outage where YouTube shut down. I'm not sure for how long, but a lot of people was complaining about it. And it just goes to show you suddenly how getting certain or listening to certain information and people can just suddenly stop just like that, You know the scriptures speak about the famine of the word, right? And this is a major platform that brothers use, even people that are whistleblowers that say the truth, that don't know, they Israelite, whatever the case may be, but they speak about the corruption and things of that nature. And not only that, just recently you had, ICE, what that spells. But apparently Google and Facebook was giving, I think Instagram was giving up, I forgot how many people, data was apparently being stolen or transferred to ICE, So that's crazy within itself because, now that's another thing where they're going to have border patrols that can apparently stop you from traveling to and fro places if you speaking against policy, if you speaking against this, that, or the third, or you speaking against being patriotic, and you against this, they could call you a T, and you know what I mean? So that's another thing. But real quick, let's get the book. Matter of fact, I'm gonna start off with Ecclesiastes 3 and 7. It says, I'm gonna go straight to the point, a time to rend and a time to sow, a time to keep silence and a time to speak. Right now the Lord is calling out unto his people by using his men, the prophets. The Lord always used prophets to speak on things that was going to come before it happened. And then right before things escalated to its final climax for that kingdom to be destroyed, the Lord hires his prophets, or he shuts their mouths, right? So we're heading to a time where people is not going to be able to even speak on things. We've seen free speech being diminished. The Constitution and all that, which that was never written for you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans anyway, which are the real biblical Israelites. And they know that. The ones that break the rule, make the rules, break the rules. But the real rules that shall stand is the counsel of the Lord. His law, statutes, and commandments. This is the book of Amos, chapter 8, verse 11. It says, Behold, the days come, saith the Lord, Yahweh, that I will send a famine in the land, not a famine of bread, nor a thirst for water, but of hearing the words of the Lord. Right? And we've seen what happened during 2020 where they were saying how, certain groups can't stand in certain areas and things like that because those that are in the know understand that that was just nothing but a trial run, and seeing the psychological effect of how something like that can basically, put a chokehold on the masses. You know? So you got verse 12, it says, and they shall wander from sea to sea, and from the north even to the east. They shall run to and fro to seek the word of the Lord Yahweh, and shall not find it. All right? So that could be through a way of YouTube, Facebook, TikTok. There's other platforms where you can make videos, but all in all, it just shows you how suddenly, you can't access certain things anymore. You go to the streets looking for preachers that you might, want to hear for whatever reason, whether you believe or whether it's just, hey, the scriptures say they shall seek the Lord, and no, we've read that one, but it's another one which says, they shall seek me early, because now they seeing all hell breaking loose, everything that was spoken of, wars, rumors of wars, famine, plague, those, but when it finally hits, that's when they're gonna seek the Lord early. Matter of fact, right, all right, we got it. Proverbs chapter 1, verse 28. It says, then shall they call upon me, but I will not answer. They shall seek me early, but they shall not find me. Why is that? Matter of fact, we could go to verse 27. It says, when your fear cometh as desolation, and your destruction cometh as a whirlwind, when distress and anguish cometh upon you. So when people start seeing the fears, desolation, destruction, distress coming upon them, coming upon their families, their houses, their jobs, college, hospitals, right? It says, then shall they call upon me, just like when they started seeing water during the time of Noah. That's when they wanted to seek the Lord, but it's going to be too late. This is why, let's go here, in the book of Isaiah 55 and 6, straight to the point. It says, seek ye the Lord while he may be found. Call ye upon him while he is near. You're able to find him right now. Right? It says, call ye upon him while he is near. How do we know he is near? Well, everything that's written in the scriptures that he spoke on what was going to happen is happening before his second return. We're seeing it manifest. Scriptures say the end shall speak and not lie. And soon the men is going to stop speaking. Meaning, soon the Lord is going to stop speaking. And when the Lord stops speaking, that's it. Your faith is sealed. That's it. The doors of repentance, that's a shut. Just like you running towards the train, right? You running for it and the door is shut. Once it peels off, you can't open that door again. That's it. Just like when they try to open the door during the time of Noah in the ark. The Lord had to shut it, This is the book of Ezekiel chapter 39 verse 28 says, then shall they know that I am the Lord their God, which caused them to be led into captivity among the heathen, but I gave Salakia. No, that one is not it. Salakia, that's not it. Hold on. It's in this is it. I know it's in Ezekiel. This is Ezekiel chapter 3 verse 26. It says, and I will make thy tongue cleave to the roof of thy mouth, that thou shalt be dumb, and shalt not be to them a reprover, for they are a rebellious house, right? So we're not going to be able to, correct the people with the words of the Lord anymore soon. The Lord's going to cleave the tongue to the roofs of our mouths, meaning it's going to come to a point where we can't prophesy anymore. Why would you prophesy when all hell's already breaking loose? When everything would prophesy, because the word prophesy in the Latin meaning pro se, meaning to say before. So why will we still be prophesying out in the streets when everything that we prophesied about is happening? You see, it has to be some point of time where the Lord is going to draw his men back to safety, and then, you know, everything is gonna speed up from there. Everything's just gonna speed up and intensify from there. You know? Let's get, this is the book of Ezekiel chapter 33 verse 30. Ezekiel chapter 33 and verse 33 says, "And when this cometh to pass, lo, it will come, then shall they know that a prophet hath been among you." Alright? Then they're gonna know. Then people are gonna know who was wrong and who was right. Then they're gonna know. How they gonna know? Because they're gonna see it. It's not gonna be no, no ifs, ands, or buts. Not everything that people's hearing and ignoring while they yet have liberty to repent, right? It's not going to be spoken of anymore. Now it's going to happen. Whether it's to you, your children in front of you, because you wanted to turn a blind eye, to turn, then you're going to know. And you're going to have to learn you're going to know the hard way. Majority is going to know the hard way at that time. This is Isaiah chapter 24, verse 11. It says, "There is a crying for wine in the streets. All joy is darkened. The mirth of the land is gone. And the city is left desolation, and the gate is smitten with destruction. When thus it shall be in the midst of the land, among the people, there shall be as the shaking of an olive tree, and as the gleaning grapes when the vintage is done." So that sounds like a horrible time coming. Right? When they are crying for wine in the streets, the scriptures is also referred to as oil, water, wine, and people are going to be in distress, they're going to pray to these different gods, right? Because our people like to call upon and start seeking the Lord in bad times rather than in good times. Now you're supposed to, the scriptures say pray without ceasing. You could just, as soon as you wake up, you thank the Lord. That's a prayer right there. But people are going to start calling upon other guys, if the grid shuts down, right? Overnight. Matter of fact, let's get that real quick. This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 3, verse 25. It says, "Be not afraid of sudden fear, neither of the desolation of the wicked when it cometh," right? Sudden, that's the key words for this precept. Sudden fear. Right? Because if the grid shuts down, your bank shut down, it happens what? Suddenly. Without you expecting it. That's why the scriptures say the Lord's going to come like a thief in the night. No man knoweth the hour, the time, the day, the second, the millisecond, what month. He's coming at 3 o'clock on a Tuesday. No, we don't know that. We don't know when. We know he's near though. We know that. Right? So it's not going to be sudden to those that's actually paying attention and watching. Right? And know what to watch for. You see? The rest of the people is going to be sudden fear. But it says, verse 26, "For the Lord shall be thy confidence, and shall keep thy foot from being taken." So the Lord's going to be our confidence. We're not relying on YouTube. We're relying on YouTube because it does the heavy duty to, carry the word out quicker and through the four corners of the earth. But Our reliance is solely towards Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, Bashim Kwakwadash, you know? But anyway, I hope this was edifying, straight into the point, you know? Hope it makes sense. Because there's always been these different type of sudden shutdowns or whatever, you know? It's not a coincidence. It may happen suddenly because people are not expecting it, but I'm not surprised. But you should know it's not a coincidence. These things are purposely happening, you know? Anyway, so with that, till next time, I'm going to say Shalom.